Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your April 2017. What year am I in? Oh, you guys. Oh, cards are already falling. April 2017 forecast. Happy birthday to those early Tauruses out there. I hope you have been having a really fun beginning to the spring and to that sun shifting into Aries, that fresh start that we all needed. You know, April's an intense month. April's a really intense month. For Taurus, you guys, the sun is in your 12th house, the sign right before you, right before your solar return. And that means things slow down a little bit. Not only that, but your ruling planet Venus is in retrograde until the 15th. And Mercury is in retrograde starting April 9th all the way into May. So it is one of those months where the details, the devil's in the details, and you might feel a little bit slow, just a little slow, a little bit, it might feel a little frustrating at times. But what I'm doing this month, because there's so much retrograde action, and because it's such an intensive month, and all of us are going to be experiencing kind of mind-bending perceptual shifts, I'm just letting the cards speak for themselves. So there's a little intro for you guys, but we're just gonna get right in there and pull the cards. So far I've pulled the 7 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, the Queen of Cups, and the 5 of Swords. So already I'm getting a very intense month for you guys, actually. As much as I was just talking about, you're going to feel a little bit slower. Man, I think what's going to be going on with these retrogrades and with just the collective energy, because it is such a transformative energy in April, there's so many things happening that it really forces it. Ooh, everybody. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have to go. This card flew out and it was the Empress. So let me grab it. Yep, we got the Empress, which is, makes me think of Taurus. Venus. This is one of those months where people are really getting in touch with what they really want, what they really dream of, where they really see themselves. I think that's very true for you guys as you lead up to your birthday. It's that time to go deep. And what can happen there is, it can feel a little bit like an internal battleground. And it might also feel like an external battleground. Taurus, you're a fixed sign. I'm with you guys because I'm a Leo, and a Leo is another fixed sign. And, oh my goodness, you guys. I just got the King of Cups, the 7 of Swords, and the High Priestess. Wow. This is deep, you guys. This is really deep. I'm very excited, but okay. Fixed signs, we resist the world around us telling us what we need to change. It's like, oh, excuse me. I don't need to change anything. I'm fine the way I am. And okay, the craziest thing just happened. I got 5 cards that came out. I got the Tower, the 2 of Swords, the King of Swords, Temperance, and the 4 of Swords. So, oh my gosh, you guys. Okay. There's a weird dualism going on here between a lot of action and none at all. If you can believe that. Man, okay. Okay, I'm trying to get this parsed out. So, there's a resistance to having the outside world be like, you're going to change. You're going to change, and you're going to hold your ground, whether you like it or not. The initial thing that I'm getting, because the first 4 cards are kind of my basis for this reading, and if you look at it, we have a really kind of combative, intense energy. A lot of this has to do with that Mercury retrograde. How are you communicating? How are you holding your boundaries steady and fast? I think you might get tested a little bit. And this could be from your partner, because I got that Queen of Cups sitting in there with all of that challenging energy. This could be from your partner or a good friend, close coworkers, People that you're close to, people that are close to your heart, you might really have to be setting some boundaries up. You might really have to be taking stock of where you can't take it anymore, because, you know, right above that, those four base cards that are all about holding your ground, I have the Seven of Swords. That's somebody being sneaky and shady and not cool. And I know you guys, Taurus, and one of the notes I wrote down for you when I was thinking about your sign before I started the video and meditating on it, I was thinking about how trustworthy you guys are, you know? I know what to expect. If you're my friend and we have plans and we're going to do something together, I know that I can count on you. I know that if I call you up with a problem, you're there. I don't have to wonder and worry. And so when this kind of stuff's happening, you know, no, that's not going to work for you, Taurus. No, it is not. But what I see from this, okay, so I think what's going to be happening here is the beginning of the month, you're going to be feeling that a little bit. You might even be feeling kind of drained and a little bit disheartened. Like, what the heck, you know? The sun's finally coming back. It's getting warmer. Things are moving. I was feeling good. I was having visions of my future when we were in that Pisces energy back in March. You know, things are starting to come together. I'm making more sense of the world. And now all this drama where there's people like fighting with me and doing things behind my back and forcing me to be loud and in your face. Like, you're like, no. But here's the thing. I don't think it's going to last long. So, you know, I've been saying this about April. It's all about the elastic mind. That's what I'm calling it. We all have to have an elastic perception of the world, because this is for each sign, for each type of energy, there's kind of going to be a button pushed, is how I'm putting it. Like, everybody's like special button is going to be pushed. For you, Taurus, you are opinionated. You do have your vision of the world. You do know where you want things to go, but I don't know that you necessarily want it to be like out and out conflict. You know, you might banter and you might have your opinions, but you don't necessarily want out and out conflict. So there's a button that is going to be pushed for you where you have to just hold your ground. It's not always pretty, but you're going to do it. And the reason I say that is right after we get through all of that base energy at the beginning of the month, these two babies come up. And this is very strong, steady energy. You know, I see you in the Empress. I see you in that King of Cups where you can hold your own in choppy waters. And I think what's really going to happen with this crazy, vibrant energy at the beginning of the month where you're holding your own and you're saying like it is, your confidence is going to go up again. So if you have a challenging personality in your life, you have somebody who's making you feel a little bit like, oh, you do not get where I'm coming from, you're going to be able to communicate that. Now, what I will say, that High Priestess came up next. With the Mercury in retrograde and with the crazy energy that's coming in here, and all I can say about April is it's going to be one of those months. It's very magical. It has the potential to bring so much good in, but it does have these challenging energies. Take the time to check in before you say or do anything. You know, you don't have to act on the spur of a moment. You have an answer. You have a way of putting yourself forward to people, Taurus, that is very appealing and very magnetic. And when you utilize it in a smart way, you normally get what you want. Whether the people around you realize it or not, you have just figured out a way to get what you want. And that's kind of what I see. So your buttons are getting pushed. You're going to get back in touch with your inner voice, with your inner goddess, with your inner God, with your inner knowledge. That confidence is going to rise. You're going to set some boundaries. It's not going to be fun for you. You're not going to like it necessarily, but in the end you will. And then the second half of the month, as the sun gets into your sign, this is where things get really crazy. And this is where those 5 cards just flew out of my deck. And I'm looking at them right now because we're shifting. Okay, that whole first half of the month is like one thing. And then there is something here. Okay, so I think a lot of you have been asking questions about a big decision in the next few years in your life. Some of you might be thinking about moving or ending a relationship or starting a relationship or, moving jobs, moving cities. Things like that, big things, like things that aren't just like, oh, next month I think I'll join a gym. Things like, I'm not happy in this city or this job and I want to really change my life. And that's coming up really strongly. So behind the scenes of all this communication stuff you're going to be doing, where you set your boundaries, I get this really strong sense of this. There's been this hibernating question that has been kind of nagging at you for probably the last 6 months, but it hasn't been like something you're going to actively jump into right in 2 seconds. You've been letting it process. You've been trying to think about different ways to see it, different ways to move on it. That has just been kind of lingering in the background, right? I see that coming up really, really strongly for you, especially as the sun comes into your sign. You're going to be feeling a little bit more grounded, like yourself, a little more energized, and those questions are going to be coming to the surface. And what I see for you here is some insight, like some really intense insight. When I see the Tower and the King of Swords here like this is about lightning strike moments. The King of Swords is all about harsh, clear communication. You know, he's not mincing words. And the Tower is also about harsh, clear communication. No mincing of words. I don't really see a disaster. You know, people get freaked out by the Tower card. I don't see a disaster. What I see is sudden insight. It might just be a click where you're like, yeah, I really am ready to leave this job. Yeah, I really am ready to put my notice in. Yeah, I really am ready to move out of this house because this housing situation has not worked for me at all, and I am just ready. And honestly, probably a lot of this insight is going to come from whatever boundaries you're setting from this crap at the beginning of the month. It's all going to work together in kind of a symbiotic process where it's going to be like, yes, this is what I need to do for myself. And part of the reason I say that is the final card that came out from this really powerful energy is the Temperance. And Temperance is all about balancing elements, taking a couple different elements from a few different sources and making something that works. And making something that's a cohesive whole that makes sense for you moving forward. So yeah, I mean, you are going to start off feeling very foggy, very slow, tired, and I do think you might feel a little discouraged at the beginning of the month. I will be honest. I think you will feel discouraged. I think you will feel like just running and hiding under a blanket or running and going out in nature, doing some paintings and not having to deal with all this stuff. You know, that's what you'd rather be doing than deal with this stuff. That is going to change very rapidly. Your confidence is coming back. Your clarity of vision, your clarity of your life purpose, of where you want to be, of what works for you and what does not work for you is very strong here. And I mean, that is in every aspect of your life, but for each of you, it's going to affect you differently, depending on if this is your sun or your rising, you know, it's going to affect you differently. Some of you, I think, you're going to be asking big questions about your relationships, what you want from them. If you're in relationships, how those are working for you. If they are, if you have to have big conversations. For those of you single, what you're really after. You know, are you really after the bad boy who kind of just doesn't treat you with respect? Are you really after that? Or do you want somebody who can grow with you and who can nurture you and who can really see you for who you are, you know? Same goes with living situations and work schedules. You know, there is just going to be, this is one of those months. That's why I'm saying you have to have that elastic mind, because there's kind of this oddball element to April, where things are moving and flexing and jumping around, and surprise answers come from places you do not expect. So keep that in mind, because that's it can be very challenging. And that's why I'm saying, you know, you might feel discouraged at first, but you are going to get answers, big answers. And it might be kind of one of those things where once you see it, you can't unsee it, and you're going to start moving on it. So be prepared for some surprises. I'm just going to look at the bottom of my Cosmic Tarot. Oh my gosh, you guys. I wanted to do one last card to just kind of reconfirm everything. It's the second High Priestess we've gotten. In fact, I'm going to look at the bottom of my other deck too. Oh, Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. That fast forward clarity of communication with yourself is coming. That's what I see. There's a lot of Swords energy in your reading today. A lot of Swords energy. And you're going to figure out a way forward. That's what I will say. So don't get discouraged. keep an open mind, keep an open heart, trust in your intuition. So that High Priestess came out twice. Trust in your intuition because you know what's best for you, and you will do great, Taurus. And don't get discouraged, because I know it's not always fun when things are on shaky ground or when you don't have an answer for something that you feel like you should have an answer to. Don't beat yourself up. It's coming. It's coming. It's all coming. And it's setting you up for a really beautiful year ahead for the last half of this year. It's going to help make it feel like a smoother roll for you instead of this foggier kind of heavy time. So I hope that's really helpful, you guys. I love you so much. I'm going to leave my website, my email below for you if you want to get in touch with me, if you have questions about readings with me or any questions just about what videos to watch. I would love to hear from you. I also want to mention that I am wearing, actually, she's a Taurus. This jewelry designer makes jewelry, and her shop is called Pink Moon 422. I will link her Etsy shop below. She hand makes everything. I know her personally. She's amazing. She's an amazing Taurus, one of my favorite people in the world. She made me these with Herkimer quartz crystals, which are very clarifying psychic energy crystals. She also does a lot with amethyst, with geodes, lots of different types of minerals that help with different clarity, and she's amazing, and she makes everything by hand. I will link that below. Please check her out. She would be so happy to hear from you guys. I will see you in May, and I can't wait to see what's around the corner for you exciting Tauruses. Mwah!